It's the 1st of March, which means one thing. It's the month of the African FIFA World Cup qualifying playoffs. Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. It's the 1st of March 2022. It's the month of these third round African playoffs. I don't think these playoffs are intense, man. Like, when it comes to the playoffs, not just Europe, you've got the African ones and the European ones, and there's going to be intercontinental ones as well between some of the regions. Just so much drama, so much excitement, but there's also so much heartbreak that goes with it. I remember the playoffs, you know, a few years ago when it was 2014 and we had that Burkina Faso home and away game. We went through an away goals. There were some cracking games back then. I think Ghana smacked Egypt and, you know, some cracking ties. But anyway, this is huge. We've got 5 playoff games to talk about today. The first leg of the games are around about 3 to 4 weeks away. So there'll be a lot more content about these World Cup qualifiers closer to the time. But yeah, we're just going to talk about the first leg matches today. 5 first leg games. I believe they're all taking part on March 25th for the first leg. 3 games are going to kick off at 5 and then 2 games are going to kick off at 7:30. So there'll be an opportunity to watch 2 games out of the 5 on that day. I think it's Friday the 25th of March. So you can watch a game at 5 and then one of the 7:30 games, particularly if you need to take your mind off of your team or something like that. So let's get straight into it. We've got our 3 first legs, the 5 PM kickoffs, which are Cameroon against Algeria. We've got DR Congo against Morocco, and we've got Mali against Tunisia. So we'll start off with those matches. Now, of course, there's going to be a lot of content in the run-up to the Cameroon-Algeria game, so I'm not going to go too much into detail today. What I would say that this game is taking place in Douala, a pitch that Algeria know very, very well, and a pitch that is going to be showing no signs of improvement. Even if they do try to spray the pitch green and make it look better on camera, it's still going to be absolutely horrendous. So we know what these conditions are like. I'd love to go there and get a draw. But Cameroon, despite coming 3rd at the AFCON, well, it was the AFCON in their own home, of course, they've made the decision to sack their Portuguese manager Conceição, and they've brought in their legend Rigobert Song. So now we've got both managers in this game have played for their country. Of course, you've got Song, who's played for Cameroon, and you've got Algeria, who've got Belmadi, who's played for Algeria. So this, for me, makes it mean more to them. When you have a manager from the country you're managing, I just think there's always that extra 10-15%. And you look at Belmadi winning it with us, and you look at even Alois Cisse winning it with Senegal, you know, a couple of months ago. When you've got the manager from your country, they manage the team from the heart rather than from the head, which sometimes can deliver better results. So I think Cameroon probably got a less tactical manager, but a more heartwarming, passionate manager, and that's the route they've gone down. And they've now got Rigobert Song in the dugout and Samuel Eto'o upstairs, which could be a deadly duo. So we're going to have to be at the top of our game. Now, Belmadi, of course, held that press conference we spoke about recently, described what he wants from the second leg in Bleeder, you know, the immense atmosphere. But in terms of the first leg, it's going to be a very difficult environment. And a lot of these games, despite probably going to have VAR in action, might have non-African refs, which I just think the non-African refs are going to be in for a shock in terms of the football and the way we go about doing things. And I hope that doesn't affect the play too much. Of course, clearly these African FAs don't trust African refs, which ultimately is a shame because we want our own refs at the top, at the pinnacle of the game. But some are just corrupt or not good enough, and that's the bottom line. So Cameroon versus Algeria is going to be close. It's going to be a tight game. There's no way. It's not going to be the same Algeria that drew to Sierra Leone there, that lost to Equatorial Guinea there, that were 3-0 down to Ivory Coast after about 46 minutes. It's going to be a very different Algeria side that could have an Adeline Goudiora brought into it, and we're going to do our video soon as well about my 11 for that Cameroon away game. But Cameroon were playing 3 at the back at AFCON and ultimately didn't win the tournament. Are Cameroon going to now revert to a 4 at the back under Song. Is he going to completely rip up the rulebook? It's going to be interesting. So tactically, we've got to see what Cameroon do. But if this game's 0-0 or 1-1, it's fantastic. As long as we don't lose, like, if we just draw this game, because I think we'll win in Bleeder. I think we win in Bleeder. So if we just draw this game, I think we've done enough. I know we've hardly beaten Cameroon in our history ever, but the narrative of going AFCON and then going out in the group stage in the same pitch and going there to make amends against the hosts, it's written in the stars, hopefully, inshallah. So I think a draw. And, you know, I'll go for a 1-1 in this game, Cameroon against Algeria. Of course, still a few weeks to go. This is my outlook now. It's the same month now. Of course, things could change. New players could arrive onto the scene. Anyway, second game we're going to talk about is DR Congo against Morocco. And DR Congo are the only side in these playoffs that weren't present at the AFCON in January this year. So they've had a lot. They haven't had time to gel. It's been a few months since Congo played. I think they played a friendly against, was it Bahrain or something? It wasn't full strength Congo. Of course, they were missing a few players, but it wasn't a great performance. Their group, they did well to come out of. They finished very strongly to win their group. And this is a Morocco side that are under huge pressure now. Now, we know about Vahid Halilhodzic. He's taken Algeria to a World Cup. He's taken Japan to a World Cup. Can he take Morocco to a World Cup? This is going to be a tough game for Morocco. Now, we know the Ziyech door is closed. I think the Mazraoui door is closed. Now there's rumours the Yassine Bono, the goalkeeper, that door is closed. There's all sorts of off-the-field rifts going on with Morocco. There's a lot of players starting to refuse to play. And when the manager starts to lose that dressing room, it gets a bit toxic. So Congo need to take advantage of that, footballing-wise, on the pitch. If Congo can get a few recruits, and I'm talking Nkunku at Leipzig, just been scoring, he's turned into a forward this season, I think, scoring so many goals in Nkunku. If they get Nkunku, I'd be scared as a Moroccan. If they can get Wan-Bissaka, now I know Wan-Bissaka is not the greatest defender in the world. I still think 1v1, if you're one-on-one with Wan-Bissaka, I think he's one of the best at defending that. But going forward, I don't think he's as good as other right-backs. If they get Nkunku and Wan-Bissaka, and a couple more players as well, I think they've got a real chance. They need to win this game. It's very hard to go to Morocco and win, particularly with the atmosphere in Morocco in that second leg. Congo need to win this game if they want to stand a chance. I think Congo will win the game. I think they'll win the game 2-1. I just don't know if it will be enough. It depends on the players they get in. Is it going to be still Mbakani up front? You know, their Mbakani situation is a bit like our Slimani situation. An absolute legend who scored plenty of goals throughout the years. But can he still do it in 2022? So I'll go Congo 2, Morocco 1. Our next game is Mali against Tunisia. Now this game, of course, just happened at AFCON. Mali won the game 1-0 with a penalty with 10 men. Tunisia missed a penalty and the referee blew the whistle in the 85th and the 89th minute. Now I can assure you guys, is it in Babako, that the referee, especially if he's not African, he will not be blowing the whistle before the 90th minute this time. So Mali aren't going to get away with that again. However, Tunisia are a mixed bag. Poor group stage. They lost to Gambia, with respect to Gambia. They lost to Gambia. Then they beat Nigeria. And then they were poor against Burkina Faso. And I think Tunisia are in the process of getting a new manager as well. I don't think this Tunisia team, which got to the Arab Cup final as well, the majority of the team. I know they've got Hannibal in midfield now, but even in the games they played well, Hannibal Medbury wasn't actually playing. I don't think this Tunisia team is as good as the 2018 one that got past Congo to make it to Russia. I think this is not as good, and I'll back Mali to go through here. And I think it would be Mali's first World Cup ever, I think. What makes it harder for Tunisia is the players Mali are looking to sign up. Doucouré from Everton, I think, has signed on the dotted line. If they add a Dembele, a Moussa Dembele from Lyon, who's in talks, and a Konate from Liverpool at the back, I think let's tie over. If they get Doucouré, Konate and Dembele, right, and this is what I mean about Algeria need to start strengthening their team as well, I think it's tie over. I think Mali would win that first leg 2-3-0 with the 5 PM game, and it'll be tie over. So, crucially, are Mali going to get these players, and you blend them with what they have, with Djenepo, with Doumbia, with Bissouma, they've got a real shot. So I'm going to go for, as of right now, I'll go Mali 2, Tunisia 0. And then we come to our 2 late kickoffs. Now we know the North African sides like the late kickoff because it's less hot and a better atmosphere, better ambience. So of course Egypt against Senegal, we know if it's in that Cairo International Stadium, this is a 7:30 kickoff, the first leg. Senegal, having just won AFCON in the final against Egypt, now have to go to Cairo for the first leg of the World Cup qualifying playoffs. Now, Senegal are at an interesting crossroads because if Senegal don't go to the World Cup, they might not be as bothered because they've just won AFCON for the first time ever. This is a bonus for Senegal, and Carlos Queiroz exceeded expectations by getting Egypt to that final. And Queiroz was adamant that he was going to prioritise the World Cup qualification over the AFCON performance. So Queiroz has put all his eggs into the World Cup basket, whereas Senegal already have the AFCON in the bag. Now we know that even probably Brazil and Argentina wouldn't win in that Cairo International Stadium in Egypt. Unbelievable atmosphere. Mohamed Salah at home. Now when you've got Salah and the form he's in, like you're in the tunnel, you see Salah, anything can happen. Problem is for Egypt and Queiroz, we know what they play now. We know their game plan. We know how they set up. Are they going to change it up? Particularly now they're at home. Are they going to go on the front foot? Because Egypt need at least 2 goals before going back to Dakar or whatever. So I think Egypt will beat Senegal here, despite losing the AFCON final to them. I think Egypt win the game 2-1. And of course, no 2 games are the same. And they have the experience against Senegal now. And I think Egypt have to win this game if they want any chance of making it past Senegal. So I'll go for Egypt 2, Senegal 1. Which brings us on to the final late kickoff, the Jollof Rice Derby. Ghana against Nigeria. Now this game, again, is very interesting. Nigeria ended up having a great group stage at AFCON and then a poor last 16, you know, Iwobi getting sent off. But both these teams have sort of got managerial issues behind the scenes. Nigeria obviously let Ghana go, brought in a temporary manager with a view to replace him with a permanent manager afterwards. Whereas Ghana sort of tried to get Chris Hughton involved and get Chris Hughton either on the touchline or upstairs to help progress that team forwards. Now, if these 2 teams play like how they did at AFCON, Nigeria will win the game home and away. Like, there'll be no contest. As of right now, I think Ghana and Nigeria has the biggest gap between the 2 teams. In terms of these 5 games, I think the biggest gap is Ghana-Nigeria. I think Ghana, after that AFCON, losing to Comoros, with respect to Comoros, are so far off Nigeria's level. I can't see Ghana winning this game. I think the best thing Ghana can do here is draw the game. Now, that will change my opinion if Chris Hughton upstairs brings in 2 to 3 key players. Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea. But Hudson-Odoi is saying, I'm only coming if we get to the World Cup. Well, that's just stupid. You can't just pick and choose when you play for your country. You can't put it on and off like a tap. If Hudson-Odoi came now, different story. Same with Tariq Lamptey, the right back for Brighton. He won't be at Brighton for too long. He's fantastic. And if they got maybe like a Fosu Mensah at the back, I'd change my mind. I just can't see Ghana doing anything with Ayew and Ayew up front. It's not 2012. Like, this is... You can't do any... Look at the team Nigeria have. I think Nigeria will go to Ghana and win and tie over after game 1. I think Nigeria go to Ghana and win 1-0. I think Nigeria win the Jollof Rice Derby 1-0. A few weeks to go, but that's my take on it now. This is the first leg predictions, by the way. Like, we'll do second leg predictions as well. This is first leg predictions. After the first leg, we'll have a lot clearer idea. Sometimes it might be over, sometimes it might be well wide open. So this is my look ahead. And I know a lot of you guys are really looking forward to these games. I'm looking forward to these games. I'm annoyed they're not at separate times because I want to watch all of them. But these are my first leg predictions. You can let me know your first leg predictions in the comments down below. If you're from one of these 10 countries, you can always feel free to give me a bit of background information about your nation that I might not necessarily know about. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.